Welcome back to the Rhonda Swan Show, everyone. All right, so as I have been bringing you forward every day this series, we've been bringing on unbelievable women and women that are part of the new and upcoming Women Gone Wild Intuition edition of our book. And I have a woman that you have met before. You've not only seen her on my show, you've not only seen her in New York City at New to the Streets Unstoppable show, but you've seen her with me walking New York on Times Square billboards. So today, I not only have one of my favorite female business leaders and CEOs, Kortney Murray, who is the founder and CEO of Coastal Capital. She's the company for financial services in commercial equipment and working capital, but also she supports women in businesses. Recently, she was nominated to the board of the American Association of Commercial Finance Brokers. Kortney is a self-made female force to be reckoned with who devotes her life work at Coastal Capital to helping business owners navigate the Bermuda Triangle of lending. Court, it's so good to have you on the show. How are you, babe?
Rhonda. So great to be back to the Rhonda Swan Show. One of my favorite places to just collaborate, talk about business. So thank you for having me back.
I love it. We've been here so many times. It's so funny because we just saw each other in New York City. We not only launched the book, but then twice did a show at NASDAQ. Like, what the heck has been going on?
I know. Next time I will be in Bali. This is a determination of mine because I'm used to hugging you now after all of the 20 some years that we went without seeing each other. I just feel very honored to be a part of, this uplifting women, time in our life and mostly alongside of you.
I mean, yeah, I love it, babe. I mean, the stuff that we've been creating, I mean, if you think about it, let's just talk about that, like how things can happen in such a fast pace, right? I mean, you and I connected and it was like, boom, we've got this book. You're like, yep, I'm doing this. And it's like, boom, 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 boom. That same thing also has happened with your company as well. Like, let's talk about the growth of Coastal Capital. What's been happening with you since then? And let's like shine on this so that people can see really what happens, but how you are growing to help them as well.
I think I'll probably start by, this has been a really long growth for me. I mean, it's a big growth, fast. And the reason being is that as an entrepreneur, as you know, there's a lot of times that we can kind of hide. We give up ourself, we give up our voice. And it's because we're giving it to the people around us. We're building, we're visionaries. We're trying to put something together that is meaningful, but then you lose your voice in the middle of it. And so when you and I reconnected, something that happened to me is I came out from, I always feel like the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain. I came out and started having a voice again. And one of the things that was so moving about this project and the book and everything that we've been doing is it has allowed us to not just have a voice, but partner with extraordinary women. And the collaboration between all of the women and all of the uplifting positivity, it has allowed us to realize that we do have people who care about what we're doing. And if you're not setting yourself apart, then your product is just as good as the other person, beside you.
Exactly.
And so one of the things that I've realized in the growth to assist women is, we are a financial segment for businesses to grow. We do have ability to lend, multiple dollars for heavy equipment, asset-based lending. But why aren't we reaching out to the people that need to understand the financial aspects so they can make good decisions as entrepreneurs? And so that's where I feel like I've really grown as a person, but also been able to grow with our hiring process, people who actually have the same values and beliefs who have come on board. And it's taken a little bit, to find the right people in the company. You have to go through some employees sometimes to find the right fit. But I do feel like this growth in being able to assist women in business and helping them with some financial literacy, just in general, it's not something that, we offer it for free. We want to help people make the right decision. We're not here to make a sale. That's just not where we are in our lives. And I feel like that's why this time in our life to partner with you, it's just been great, because we're on a mission to have fun, to just educate. And it's been, giving back has it's brought forth a lot of great business for us. And it's an attraction. It's an attraction law.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, like when people actually start to realize how valuable it is to be out front, right? Because sometimes, like you said, it really came out. All of a sudden, look what happens the moment we step out. I think that is also part of like what we're doing with the book, what we're doing together as partners, like showing women and other business owners, step out, start asking for help. Like Coastal Capital, I mean, what you guys are doing and your company does for companies. I mean, you went from, let's talk about specifics, right? You went from, you are very heavy machinery, you fund big machinery, and now you're helping fund different forms of dreams. Like share how you all do that, because this is very inspiring. And it's like, because you stepped out, this is why more people are knowing about you guys, right?
Yeah, I think it is a big thing, because obviously I am a woman, and as a woman CEO, you definitely want to feel like a woman sometimes. And it's hard to do that being in heavy equipment financing. So, one of the things that's not a sexy, it just doesn't go together as a sexy brand. But one of the things that I have realized is there's a lot of women out there who run, whether it's heavy construction businesses, or maybe they're just maybe they're doing food truck, or it doesn't matter what type of business you're in. There are so many voices out there that need to be heard. And there's women who not only have created a foundation, but maybe they have a very successful business and don't have a line for their additional marketing, or they don't have a line for something that they want to do for publication. That's where I feel like we're failing in our industry, because we want to look, our underwriters have always looked inside of a box. And so my goal and ambition for Coastal Capital is to really be a storytime lender, really get the understanding of the capabilities of the business and the growth, and lend based on the risk of what they're actually doing, not look at it as just a box like a bank would. And so we have branched out. We have created our own internal line to do some things that we believe in. And as we grow and the back end grows, we'll just keep adding to that and assisting women and business, and hopefully cross the borders sooner than later, because with everything with the internet and it doesn't matter where you're located. We can really help everywhere. And so I think that the masterminds and the things that we can do together have really created that growth and awareness.
Yeah, and it's huge. Like literally every person I speak with, they're like, okay, how are, top CEO women and other CEOs are like, I said, well, this is our model. This is what we got. And I also have an amazing, financing company. They're like, what? I need to know this person, because as an entrepreneur, and I love the way you all do it, right? You call it storytime lending, because you said something to me that really mattered. And you said, look, most entrepreneurs, they're bootstrapping, they're doing everything they can. A lot of them may not have great credit scores, right? So you're not scoring it based on the number, you're scoring it based on sweat equity and the way that they work. And when I share that with someone, they're like, hold on a minute. You actually have someone that can help create that space so my clients can grow, invest in themselves in bigger products so that they can actually grow. And that's so different than the financial industry, Kortney.
It is. And it is. And I think it's, I'm very, very transparent when it comes to, I was a business owner before I ever started Coastal Capital, and I undercapitalized myself and my business. And it's because I didn't understand the two arms, the different arms of financing. And so if I had known that then, I probably would have succeeded a little more and not just had to close the doors after 5 years. And so I think it's really important to look at people outside of a credit score, because failure doesn't mean that they didn't know how to succeed. It just means maybe they didn't navigate the waters properly, and that maybe they weren't educated enough. And so we really want to look at somebody as a whole. We want to look at how they put into the business, the sweat equity. I always love to say sweat equity, but giving away any part of your business and what you've created, I think that that's much harder to get back, then, giving a piece of your pie is very hard. I would rather pay a little bit higher of a note if it made sense to keep the equity in your business. And so we just want to educate and let people make sound decisions for themselves. But if they don't know where to turn to, they're not going to get the proper education.
Yeah.
And that's just point blank.
Well, that was big advice. I mean, you even gave me, I said, look, I've got someone looking at our company. They want to invest in our company. And you're like, wait, sister, hold on a minute. You don't want to give any of that work that you've put into it. And that's the kind of advice that everyone deserves to have, right? You need to have someone in your corner that actually is rooting for you, supporting you, and giving you the right guidance. And I know that's what you do at Coastal. So, Court, talk to me. Let's talk about this new journey, this expansion of Women Gone Wild, the book, not only just the experience, but what it's done for you, and now how do you see continuing on? You're in the Intuition edition. How do you see that maybe changing or shifting things for you?
Well, I will first say that you really have to embrace the face, because you don't know you're going to be on a billboard when it comes to a small chapter in a book. And I was laughing. I thought, I'm going to write this chapter, and then 40-foot face on two sides of the Coca-Cola thing. I thought, embrace the face. That's not the picture I wanted. So that's number one.
Me too. I hated my picture.
I was laughing. I was like, you never know what's going to happen with Rhonda. But the book was so, it was so profound. It was a sisterhood. I think that really created a space for intuition. The 4-part series is going to be amazing. And so I really, this has changed my life, the way I look at my business and the way I've had a voice. And 100%, I have come out from behind the screen and started educating. And like I said, you start attracting, the law of attraction, the people who want to be part of your journey. And for me personally, I feel that the partnerships that we've created through the beginning to now have completely changed, just because the relationships of the book have changed.
Yeah.
And so, it's a big project. It's something that if I could tell anyone to come and, experience this, I would, but you have to be at this particular spot in your life to do this. And it's an amazing way to get your brand out, but not just that, just the sisterhood and the collaboration. I mean, business is coming from all over, but it's because people trust. You have a circle of trust, right? Yeah. And so we start relying on each other instead of building circles that tear each other down. And so as a woman, I feel like this is very strong movement, and it's so empowering.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful journey for me, a lot of learning and a lot of patience and just patience, being flexible, and knowing too that when you have a mission bigger than you and you want to charge it, make it run, sometimes that mission has to really keep building. And then all of a sudden that, it's this new way, this new army of energy starts to come, and then it's like, boom. And that's how I saw the Wealth book come out. Now Intuition, it's like this culmination of, and I don't ever like to say that we're the right women, but however, it's the women that are ready. They're holding that frequency. They get it. It's help, because we're here to change the way women are thinking and the way the world thinks. And I got a last question for you, Court, because I think it's really a big one based on intuition, certainly, and financial literacy. How do you think that people can apply actually listening to the intuition in a matter of their financial literacy? Like, how do you think that you could merge those two worlds together? Because most people are thinking financial literacy, logical mind, intuition, more spiritual, how do we do that?
Well, and that's the thing. As an entrepreneur woman, you definitely have a spirit to go after something. So I think intuition plays a huge role in our lives. And not necessarily was I a logical thinker when I jumped in and said, I'm going to buy a clothing store, when I didn't know how to run a cash register.
Right.
But I knew this is where, logic and emotion, they kind of play a role on each other. They're fighting. But intuition, I think, is the gut is the most accurate on anything you do. Yeah. And if you're going to go for something, I always believe that the doors open very briefly. And if you don't jump on that, in that opening, then the door closes. And so as you grow, I think you can make smarter moves by educating yourself. Stop getting tied up in your pride. Make sure that you just start asking questions. And when you have a circle like this, there's not one woman in the circle who has not had a hard time or a failure. I will say that. And very openly, we've all been there. We've been in the book talking about it. But those failures have led to success, which was the chapter in my book, actually. And I think that created financial health and wealth for me, because I was able to actually find and navigate those waters properly. So just asking and educating. Yeah. And that's what Coastal wants to do. We're not here to, we need to find a deal. We need to find a new client. We really want to let people make an educated decision. And I think that's for all women and men. I mean, anyone going into business, they really should take that pride and run for their dreams, but take that pride and start asking some questions before they make financial decisions.
Yeah. And you're one that they can rely on. I mean, that's something that
absolutely.
This is why I'm like, look, if you want good financial advice, if you want to, get assistance here, talk to Coastal, because that's what you are, that your values, I know, are something that you stand on so strong. And that's why, of course, we sorority sisters after 27 years, back on it again. Now we're partnering. There's so many cool things that we're doing, I mean, having you on my side to partner with PR and their marketing. I'm actually, and this is exciting, I'm just going to reveal it right now. We are focusing on a very big new market, and it's the solar energy companies, solar powered energy companies. And we are literally sharing with them that there's also a financing. These are guys that need big, heavy stuff in order to get their franchises done. And of course we have financing. Oh my goodness. So get ready, Court, because we're moving into
we do it.
Right? So
we do help with solar. I think it's so awesome. That's one thing that we've been able to learn in this. I mean, there's women in business, there's some women that are healers that I never knew that we could help. And we were able to help even with equipment. And I thought, I didn't know we have this type of equipment out here. So, with our world, it's just something's new every day. So it's a really exciting thing. And we love partnering with you guys, because we know that the quality of people are somebody who fit the mold for us, that they have a good story. If they're coming to you, they're coming to us, they have a good story, because, we're all working together as a team.
Yeah, that's it. And it's cool when you have that, like you, myself, like Jonas, Deviate, all of a sudden we're like the guys from New to the Street. It's like we have this unbelievable resource center that we can trust. We know who they are. It's really kind of cool and trippy, and it's very inspirational for everyone that's watching. Find a really cool unit, come inside, join us, be part of it. Yeah. So Court, before we go, babe, what's next for you? What's next for Coastal? So we can what do we got going on? I'm like, where am I going to see you next, sister?
Oh my gosh, we have so many great things. Well, definitely the next Intuition, the next book, that I'm very excited for that project. But Coastal, in a nutshell, we have this 2,500 square foot facility. We have grown from just Chris, my husband, and I to we have 9 people now, and we're growing exponentially. But we're also growing into our own line, which is such an exciting time, because once we have really created that, we will be able to do much more. And so we're really looking forward to the next, year. I mean, look what we changed in 6 months. So it's pretty amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah. And I love you dearly, your dear friend, dear sister, and I love your work. And thanks for being you, babe. See you soon.
Love it. I know. Can't wait. Thank you for having me again. I know it's morning there, but this is late night in my office. So
I love it. I see our pictures. I'm looking at our pictures in the behind you of us when we were in New York City and NASDAQ. One's our billboard, the other one.
Yes. So exciting. These women I could tell stories forever about too. It's so great.
Epic. I love it, babe. All right, babe. See you soon. Have a great night. Say hi to Chris and be unstoppable and stay wild.